As an inventor, you don't just think of something in the bath. You go into the workshop and build prototypes, lots of them, and almost all of them are failures. We actually get quite excited when something fails, because that's how we learn. I mean, the cyclones for my vacuum cleaner took over 5,000 prototypes. That's 5,000 failures before I'd cracked it. So our life is all about seeing problems that no one's tackled before and coming up with radically new solutions.
You didn't start out wanting to design a green product, it just ended up being a byproduct of the good engineering?
No, we never do that. I hate greenwash. And the thing is, I employ young engineers. I always try and get graduates. Graduates are very idealistic, and they've been taught lean engineering at college, and I love lean engineering. So what we do is lean engineering. So our latest vacuum cleaners use far less plastic and are far lighter than the early ones, which doesn't make them any flimsier, because we do really, really extensive testing trying to break them. But it means they're lighter and use less energy to make them and less plastic. And of course, they're cheaper to make. So we can, because of that, we can put in more technology, which we otherwise wouldn't have been able to do. Now, that's what engineers do. They're not marketing people with greenwash. They're engineers doing lean engineering, which they find exciting.
So let's talk about your engineering team then, because now you are, of course, an international company and very well established. And you have how many people working for you?
Nearly 4,000.
4,000 people. So how do you continue that spirit of innovation, disruption, when you have 4,000 employees?
Well, I try to always employ graduates because they have no fear, they have no experience. I don't want experience. I want people who haven't done something before and want to find a new and better way of doing it, and who have no fear of failure. Because failure is so important. I mean, it's what you learn from it. If you always succeed and always give the right answer, you're learning nothing.
Right.
So I want people who feel as though they're pioneering and want to do something in a different and better way. And the funny thing is that these graduates, and when they become managers and they want to employ someone, they always say, I want someone with experience. And it's laziness. It's because they think that the person coming in won't need to be trained, won't need to be helped, which is of course quite the reverse, because you've got to knock their experience out in order to get them back to be thinking originally. We're trying out ideas and they all fail. You then have to try and make it work, and that requires hundreds or thousands of prototypes, all of which are failures, until you get the one success. So we're totally used to failure. A really important one for me was we were developing something that collected diesel exhaust soot. A diesel engine pumps out really nasty NOx and SOx, carbonaceous soot, which is said to cause cancer. So I set out to develop a system for collecting the carbonaceous soot, and I started with cyclones because they're very good at collecting fine dust, so that seemed like the obvious way. And then we developed it in something else. But about 10 years ago, all the car companies and truck companies promised to fit ceramic filters onto their diesel trucks and buses and cars. So at that point we gave up, because we wouldn't have been able to compete on price. In fact, they never fitted them. They all said they were going to, and they never did. We stopped because we thought it was commercially unfeasible, and I feel sad about it, but it was interesting because we learned a lot doing it. Failure's fascinating. It's much more interesting than a success, and it's what we built our lives on. Graduates are good straight away. You don't have to train graduates. They're brilliant straight away. I remember when I first started and I was making an upright vacuum cleaner. It's the world by canister vacuum cleaners, so I had to develop a canister vacuum cleaner. But my few engineers, all 5 of them, were busy on the existing products. Just hired a graduate straight from the Royal College of Art, where I came from. And I said, get on with it. We're going to do, you and I are going to do a cylinder, a canister vacuum cleaner together. And
wow, lucky guy.
And it's the one sitting in MoMA, by the way, that one. So that was a graduate did that.
So how early graduate? I mean, they've gone through graduate school, or they're just like fresh out of college?
Fresh out of college.
Fresh out of college.
Yeah.
Very young.
And you don't have to train them. The worst thing to do is to train them. Just get them doing something. And it's brilliant what they do. I mean, I don't have the ideas any longer. They all have the ideas, because they have no fear, no experience, and they're really enthusiastic, and they want to change the world.
So you really encourage them to just fail their way into success?
Yes, yes, and I want to see their failures, because that's what you learn from. I would say if you go to a golf club and you sort of look at it, you learn nothing. If you break it over your knee, you learn the strength of the golf club and what its yield point is. So failure is terribly important. It's terribly important in schools as well. I mean, the problem with schools is they only teach you to give the right answer. You're bright if you give the right answer quickly. They don't teach you to learn by experience, or learn by failure, and have no fear of failure.